We often perceive Christianity as a singular, sudden event, a divine spark igniting in the Judean desert. Yet for those who seriously seek it, a different narrative emerges. Imagine Christianity not as an isolated revelation, but as a vast, life-giving river into which countless ancient streams have flowed. These are the profound contributions of the great mystery traditions of Egypt, Persia, and India. Traditions that, millennia before the event at Golgotha, were already nurturing the very essence of what we now call the Christ thought. This esoteric perspective suggests a primal truth. Humanity, born of light, yearns to return to that luminous source. To truly grasp the roots of the living Christ, we must journey back 3,000 or 4,000 years to civilizations where the Christ thought was not merely an abstract concept, but a living, evolving spiritual reality. One of the most striking commonalities across these ancient traditions is a profound preoccupation with the sun. This was no mere astronomical observation. It was a recognition of the sun as a profound spiritual reality. The ancients understood the sun not as a burning physical mass, but as a spiritual hollow space. Imagine, if you will, that we live within a bulb of pure jet-black obsidian glass. On the inside, we have our ecosystem, our world. This bulb rotates within a huge cosmic room filled with transformative source energy. Our obsidian bulb has one crucial feature: a huge round lens through which golden energy rays bless us with light and life. Herein lies the secret. The energy pouring through this portal or lens has different frequencies. Ordinarily, as humans, we can only access the spectrum perceptible through our 5 ordinary senses. However, we possess other sensing organs within us, organs that can perceive the higher frequencies of energy we call heaven, such as love. This lens in our obsidian bulb is precisely that, a divine portal through which cosmic substance pours forth. They perceived this spiritual sun, the solar logos, in 3 distinct evolutionary stages, each preparing the ground for the eventual incarnation of the Christ. First, the Zarathustrian radiance, Ahura Mazda, the cosmic spirit. Millennia ago, the ancient Persian teacher Zarathustra, whose very name means radiant star, beheld a magnificent cosmic spirit dwelling within the sun. For him, the sun was not a physical orb, but the visible manifestation of an omnipresent Godhead, Ahura Mazda. This divine being, he taught, sent spiritual rays of grace and wisdom to earth, igniting the higher man within the human soul. Zarathustra's vision was a direct perception of the spiritual sun as a living, conscious entity. Second, the Egyptian-Chaldean glow, Ra and Osiris, the shining force. As human consciousness gradually became more entangled with the material world, the direct, pristine vision of the sun being began to recede. In the Egyptian and Chaldean traditions, the sun was no longer perceived as a radiant, spiritual entity in its entirety, but rather as a powerful, shining force. Here we encounter Ra, the revered sun god, and Osiris, who embodied the potent solar forces at work within humanity itself. This stage marked a shift, where the spiritual essence of the sun was still recognized, but through a slightly more veiled, yet still potent lens. Third, the Greek reflection, Zeus and the earthly ether. By the time of the Greek initiates, the direct perception of the sun being had largely faded. They could no longer behold the cosmic spirit directly, but instead perceived its influence reflected in the earthly ether. This subtle, pervasive force was personified as Zeus, the king of the gods, whose dominion extended over the celestial and terrestrial realms. While a step further removed from the direct vision of Zarathustra, the Greek understanding still acknowledged the profound, life-giving power emanating from the sun, albeit through an earthly intermediary. The profound insight offered by esoteric wisdom is this: the very being Zarathustra called Ahura Mazda and whom the Egyptians revered as Ra, is the same divine entity we now designate as Christ. Before the mystery of Golgotha, this magnificent sun being resided solely outside the earth, a cosmic intelligence guiding humanity from afar. It is this very being who, in Christian scripture, is called the light of the world and the giver of life. The central, transformative event of Christianity, the incarnation of Christ, was precisely the descent of this great sun being to earth, a cosmic sacrifice to unite with and redeem its internal forces. This was the ultimate blueprint laid down through millennia for the living Christ to walk among us, bringing not just light, but life itself to a world in darkness. The pagan roots of Christianity are perhaps nowhere more vividly illustrated and in the ancient Egyptian mysteries. Here, suitable candidates underwent rigorous initiations, not as intellectual exercises, but as profound transformations of body and mind. The goal was to experience the deepest life of the universe, to become attuned to the divine. The Egyptian priesthood used powerful symbols to convey the world's development. The pyramid, representing physical nature, the Sphinx, the incarnation of spirit into animal form, and the phoenix, the soul's redemption of spirit from nature. At the heart of this initiation lay the Osiris myth. Osiris, the god of heaven, was tragically murdered and dismembered by his brother Seth-Typhon, only to be resurrected through the unwavering love of Isis. This myth was far more than a story. It was a dramatic representation of the Logos pouring itself into the matter of the world to bring it back to spiritual existence. During initiation, candidates would undergo a 3-day sleep, often laid upon a wooden cross or the earth with outstretched arms. While their physical bodies rested, their spirits journeyed through infinite realms, dying before they died, to become an Osiris, a deified being. On the 3rd day, they would awaken, greeted by the rising morning sun, returning to their bodies in a spiritualized state. This ancient ritual was a profound foreshadowing, a cosmic promise of resurrection, echoing the future triumph of the living Christ. The cosmic blueprint of the Christ thought extends even further back into the ancient Indian Vedas, completed 2 millennia before the Christian era. Here we find the legend of Adhima and Heva, the Vedic Adam and Eve, whose creation in paradise and subsequent descent into matter, tempted by a serpent, mirrors the biblical narrative. This fall into matter, in the Vedic worldview, created the world of Maya, a grand illusion, a deceptive image. In this profound cosmology, Brahma, the creator, made a divine sacrifice by incarnating within the first humans, pouring spirit into the dust of the world. To comfort these fallen beings, Brahma prophesied the coming of Vishnu, a divine preserver. This Vedic prophecy of Vishnu is understood through esoteric lenses as the same Christ prophecy found in Genesis. The serpent in these traditions is not merely a tempter, but a potent symbol of the initiation process itself, representing a divine force that enables humanity to redeem matter and give birth to spirit out of mere matter. It is a testament to the universal yearning for the living Christ long before his earthly advent. In part 2 of the Radiant Stream, we will delve into the profound shift from these cosmic blueprints to the earthly incarnation of the Christ. We will explore the mystery of Golgotha, the Gnostic understanding of the Risen One, the suppression of esoteric Christianity, and the modern challenge of reclaiming the living spirit in an Ahrimanic age. Stay tuned for a deeper dive into how these ancient streams converged to form the powerful river of the living Christ within us all.